Hello watchers, as you've guessed from the title, I'm going to be discussing why I stopped bullet journaling, kind of, because I've not entirely stopped. I started bullet journaling in January 2018 with this bullet journal, which I don't think I've shown on YouTube because it's not really my sort of layouts and things. Ignore the self-portrait. So I had a key and future logs and reflections and photographs and inspirations, but the layouts I used were by Christine Millen. I'll leave a link on the screen and down below for her wonderful work, but I just used her layouts, printables and things, and then sort of added my own little dashes along the way. But I also use my bullet journal as half sketchbook as well as bullet journaling. So that was for the first half of 2018. I don't know where the other half went. I seem to have lost that one. But the reason why I started bullet journaling to begin with was to get organised rather than just having it all float around in my head, and to have some sort of structure rather than just being flighty throughout the day trying to figure things out. The other reason why what was the bigger driving process to start this was because I wanted to get away from the screen-driven process of creating images for architectural design works. That process has sort of followed me throughout my whole architectural career. So, I wanted to get back to the traditional way of creating imagery and renders for architectural designs. So I sort of needed a prompt each month to sort of get me just to put pen and paper on, because there was no real room for it at that time. For me to do as alongside my architectural work that I was doing as well. So I needed sort of just like a little challenge or a little prompt to get me to do it. And I thought bullet journaling was a wonderful way, because obviously you need to produce a spread each month. So the next bullet journal that I used was another Nova notebook. I do prefer the Novas, I think, to the Leuchtturm, I think they're called, or the other bullet journals, because these are 3.5 dot grid, so they're smaller together. So I think it makes it easy for me as an architect to draw, because it makes it so much easier to work out scales of things and all the other good stuff. But all of these layouts are in the bullet journal playlist on my channel. I just want to quickly flip through and sort of talk about what worked and what didn't work for me. I mean, I started the year off good and strong, but then it sort of dips down a little bit. Oh, I forgot that I did that there. But anyway, distractions. But yeah, what worked and what didn't? Pretty much everything worked, but it was sort of, I don't know, I think this is the year 2019, so I don't know, I think everything worked that I did, but I think I was just getting quite sort of, especially these cutout pages, taking my time to cut all these out and do all the layouts and things, was starting to get a bit, not time consuming, it was more the thinking process of having to do it that was taking more time, as opposed to the actual pen to paper exercise. But yeah, I think the first half of 2019 worked pretty well. Was it the first half or more? I think it might be more. So June, yeah. July, yeah. So that worked quite well as well. then I moved on to using a Blackout journal, which I was super duper excited for. But as time went on, it was, because you were quite limited on what you could use, it was getting a bit sort of annoying. Because I like to use a lot of colour. So the fact that it was just being black and white all the time, with some little bits of colour, like October I managed to get it to have a bit of green and things, but again that was because I was quite limited on the materials that I used and knew that I could use, whereas now I know there are some other things I can use. But again, this is when I started dropping off and not using my bullet journal as much, and I'd sort of streamlined my spreads at this point. Like I didn't sort of have too many weeklies. Like I think December was quite a big spread for me because I did a lot of different Christmassy stuff, which again I didn't end up using for whatever reason. Yeah, so I'd created a lot of spreads to do for Christmas. Wait. The weekly spreads, the daily spreads I kind of did use. But again, it drops off. Last quarter, and then video ideas. So this is the back sort of stuff. So I started dropping off about them, but then of course when the new year rolls around, you're like, I should get back into doing it properly. So I then went ahead and started doing my 2021. And this time I thought I'll make my own sketchbook so I get exactly what I want, which was darker pages but not white, because I was still sort of, even now I still get this psychological thing of white page, I can't ruin the white page. You know, sort of the fear of the white page. So I wanted a grey, because that way I knew I could put colour on it as well. And also the 3.5 dot grid, and also thicker paper as well, so I could like use it for paints and things as well. And again, the year started off strong, but then dropped off completely. It's my Gaudi spread, but again, I started not using it again. Hang on, did I use it all the way throughout January? Did I not do it January? By the time I'd made my whole journal, January was pretty much over, so I think I just went straight into February. And again, I bet, see this? Blank, 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 blank. I barely used it. Then... And I don't think it wasn't because the layouts weren't working for me, because I tailored them to exactly what I needed at that point. Whoa. My copper obsession clearly went overboard on this spread. Oh, I started using it quite a bit. Yep, I used it quite a bit in March. So things were working. But it's just, I think my energy for it had sort of stopped. And then this is the last spread. Where my first sort of experience with gouache started. And my gouache obsession started. And I did use this spread quite a bit as well. And then after that, I didn't do any more spreads. I think it's because I was super busy, like towards the back end of May, so I didn't have time to do June's. And then it sort of felt good that I didn't do June, so I was like, well, let's not do July and start again in August. What I found with bullet journaling as well is that I found that there was a lot of constraints in just the book itself in terms of size and layout. Plus I wanted to explore more types of media, again to challenge myself, and I didn't. There's only so much you can do in a bullet journal, I think. So again, I found that quite restricting. It almost gave me anxiety to get a spread done each month. It wasn't so much psychologically doing it, but more psyching myself out and the thinking about it. Again, putting too much constraint on how I produce a spread, in that it has to be this sort of way for whatever reason I was thinking that month. It just, I don't know, it started getting a little sort of chaotic in my head. Bullet journaling is something that I wanted to try, to give a purpose, a reason, even a function to produce and experiment with traditional media. But now I feel that it has run its course. Plus, I started with the art boxes, which are much freer and no constraints if you don't want, but then there's a prompt if you feel you need a helping hand, and there's much wider variety of media to experiment with, which again gives a much more freer sense of being able to do it. May 2020 was my last month of producing a full spread, so I've had 8 months of no spread making, which in truth has been a relief. However, I still bullet journal, just in the form of lists. So rather than using an actual dot grid, I got this one in a paper gang box. I've forgotten which one, but I'll put on screen which paper gang box I got this one in. And it is literally, all the spreads are just a little note section, doodles, today's tasks, a little timetable, date and subject, but you don't have to use the spreads like that, because as you can see, I just write in it. I don't pay too much attention about notes or subjects or today's tasks and things like this. I just write in it, and I just have my little boxes that I cross out, and I've put a little box at the bottom of each page, so when I've completed everything on that page, I'll do that, so then when I'm flicking through of all the tasks I need to do, I can quickly see that the pages that are blacked out, there's nothing else to do on that page, so I can quickly bypass it. So I use the bullet journal method, but just in sort of list format, I suppose you would call this. So I've not really stopped bullet journaling, I've just stopped making such a show of it, if that's the sort of thing you want to put on it. But I found doing it like this has helped a lot, and it has relieved that anxiety and pressure that I had, but I still need just a little bit of sort of reining in just a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? I still need a little bit of a guideline, a sort of process of planning my time out and things, and especially now with me juggling quite a lot, I need to be able to plan more with my time and stick to it. So that's why I've decided to try a planner for the first time in my life, as opposed to a bullet journal, because in the planner I can still do the bullet journal method in the planner. It doesn't have to be a separate book or anything. So I'll just put these all to the side. So the planner that I decided to use was because I was investigating what other products this particular company do, because in the beginning of December I received a very precious and very lovely gift from a dear friend, Felix, which was a gouache art kit by the brand Mossery. So once I realised how much I love that kit, I had a wander on their website and see what else they do, and I discovered that they do planning kits as well as art kits. So I decided to go ahead and purchase the planner kit. So I thought we'd do a little unboxing of what's in here. I've got a very vague idea of what is in here because obviously I ordered it. So yeah, we'll just do a little unboxing. I wonder if Mossery do their own sort of like graphics and things in-house, because whoever does them, I really like your style. Oy. That's just a cardboard sleeve. Just pop there. Oh, it's like before when we've got our own little cotton bag. Just get rid of the box. So we'll start with what's in the goodies first. Okay, so we've got a protective sleeve for the planner, which I love using on my sketchbook. Let me just grab my sketchbook. So this is the sketchbook I got in the gouache box with my name on it. But this is a protective sleeve on it, and it works really well insofar it's not like broken up or cracked or anything like that. But it just keeps the cover really nice, which is what I like. So we like those. And then, oh, we've got a plastic case of stuff. So in here we have got a mild liner. In like a light greeny colour. I've never had mild liners. I've heard of them, but I've never had them. Then we've got another one, which is a yellow colour. Then we've got a Flexon ball. Is this a pen or is this? Yeah, it's a pen. Which I don't quite understand why it's got the bit on the top. Is that supposed to be? I expect it to be a razor, but obviously it's a pen, not a pencil. Then we've got another one. So I'm guessing this one will be blue, and then that one will be black. Then we've got another Pilot Flexion. Oi. Oh, these are some sort of like coloured pens, so Flexion colour. So I've got a green and a yellow again. But I don't think these are highlighters. I think these are just to add colours. But they've got like a super bullet tip. That's what was in the little case. It's quite nice, I like the case. And then in the little baggie, whoa, we have got a Deco Rush. What is this? 90 pieces. Oh, so I'm guessing there's little bits of washi tape in here that you can just use straight away. I'll have to play with that in a second. Then here we've got 2021 calendar cards, which is like a little miniature desk calendar. So each month you can just have a quick glance of the calendar, obviously. Then we have got, oh, what's these? These bookmarks, off-cut project. So they've put a grid and a ruler, which is always useful, I find, as two bookmarks. Then we've got some daily plan sticky memos, one in like a red and white grid, and then a simple grey. There's 100 sheets on each. So I always go through sticky notes like no tomorrow, and then we've got a whole bunch of stickers. So are these the same sticker sheets inside, or are they different sticker sheets? Let's have a quick look. Oh no, they're different behind each one. So nice. I do quite like stickers, but I forget to sort of use them sometimes. But maybe using a planner, it'll sort of spur me on, because obviously there might be not a lot of room to draw in things on there. So adding some stickers might be a quick, easy way of just adding a pop of colour. So I've got 4 packs of those, and I'm guessing they'll all be different underneath. So yeah, we'll get some good stickeroos. And then what's in the bag? What's in the bag? What's in the bag? Oh, hello. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is a beautiful enamel pin. This is by the designer Some Things to Keep, which are also the people that designed this book cover. And the cover that I've ordered is also one of theirs as well, one of their newer ones. And I think we got this free because I'd ordered a lot, but I forgot about it. So yeah, that is so nice, so beautiful. So then these are, okay, so this is a 2021 planner, July to December, and then dot pages. So these are the refills for when those ones are empty in there. So I'll just put them to one side for now and open this up. Oh, I love this box. It's so colourful and fun. And plus, when I've done with like my bullet journals in sketchbooks, I like to sort of put them in boxes to keep them nice. So when I'm an 100-year-old lady, I can look back and go, I did that when I was 20 something. So I like to keep them for keepsakes. So again, with this gift box, you get some extra stickers. That are also the funky, beautiful colours as well. I knew that from the gouache box. So I'll just pop that to one side as well. This desk was empty about 5 minutes ago, and now it's not. Then on the back of here there's discount code, but I might use that for something else because I really do love the Mossery stuff, so I'm not going to show you that on camera. They've given us a swatch card of their watercolour paper. I know what it's like because I have one of you already. I already have this as well, but I do love the idea that they take the time to look at everybody's work that they've produced and then showcase them again in a magazine, which is, I think, a great thing for a brand Mossery to do. But here is the beautiful, beautiful book cover. And I have to open it up straight away to show you that it flips round today, tonight, which is what planning's all about. And then I had architecting embossed on this one rather than my name because it's planning more everything I've got to do. But this is just gorgeous again, and it's that weird material that I still can't figure out what it is, but it's not suede, but kind of feels like, I don't know, but it's nice, it's beautiful. But just look at the details on these illustrations. I mean, even just the middle bit of getting the rocket in the middle, which then separates the day from the night in that nice little curve. And then just in the details of the architecture of the castles and the fireworks and the stars. This is just beautiful. But now I understand the pin, because the pin is day and night as well. So that was a nice touch. But then when we open this up, I've decided to get the twin book, I believe it's called. So all these are removable. So if I want, I could actually put my watercolor sketchbook in here instead. But I like it the way it is at the moment. So on this side, I've got the 2021 planner, July to June, and inside the planner, they've got obviously where you can put your name and if you get lost. And contact details, and then they've also got like a little bullet journal thing of where inspirational films, songs, books, places, role models, words to live by, priorities, values and beliefs, but just very loose in fancy free. It's not like you have to fill these pages in, and it's only a few at the beginning, but the paper with this is very thin. Like, I think you'll be able to see, it almost feels a little bit thicker than marker paper, but I kind of like that because it keeps things thin, so I can, because I intend to carry this with me everywhere I go basically, so the lighter it is the better, I think. Then we get onto the main calendar, which has just got a quick sort of all the calendars for both 2021 and 22. And then a breakdown of each week. Is it each week? Yeah, of each week throughout 2021. And then they've even put like a little habit tracker in here as well. So I can still do a couple of bits of habit tracking as well. Then some notes and just planning for what you want to do for that month. And then another little overview calendar for the month of January, and then it breaks down. These are the daily / weekly spreads. So on each of these, if it shows, because it is very faint, that one. It's very small, but you can see like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it breaks down the hours, so I can write a little task that I need to do for each hour basically, for each day. And then at the bottom you've just got blank lines, so then I can go back and do an overview of like my bullet journaling tasks on each of those as well. So I'm getting a good mix of planning and bullet journaling, and then it's like that throughout, and then at the end of the month you get a sort of like a review page and a plan page. Again, you don't have to fill them in as they suggest. I mean, I'll probably end up using these to stick things in that's inspired me, or a favourite photo or something I've taken. And then you flip over and then you go into February overview, and then it's the same throughout the whole book all the way up until June, and then I switch this part out for the July, December part of the book. But I was worried that it might be weird sort of working this way, like, but because this thing lays so flat, it doesn't matter. Like, it still lays flat completely, so there's no dips or bumps or anything. Then on this side I've just got a dot grid notebook, so it's just plain throughout, but it is the 5mm dot grid. But I figured that I could actually make my own signatures and make my own little book with my own favourite paper and the right dot grid if I want a dot grid, and use this side as my sketchbook. So then I can then pull these out as each project's done or each book's done, depending on how I'm working. So I could always make my own little my own little book, because obviously I can make my own book that I've done for bullet journaling in the past and stick it in here. So I just think this might be a better option. And then obviously you've got your ribbon and your little ribbon to keep everything nice and put together. So going forward, that's what I'm intending to use as opposed to bullet journaling. The sort of YouTube way, I suppose, of bullet journaling. So I'll be using a very basic planner as a template and a guideline, and I don't want to be too precious about it as well. If I feel that I want to draw over a page rather than using the calendar or the days or whatever, then fine, you know, it's not a problem. I could also almost use it as like scrapbooking as well, as I mentioned before, with like putting photographs or something that's inspired me. I like the twin idea of the book, because it still means that I can use one section as a sketchbook and one for planning / bullet journaling, so it's easier for me as well, because then I can organize things a little bit better. Like pull out the sketchbook and have that for one project, or when it's full, etc. So yeah, and like I said before, I can just change that up for my own paper that I prefer. But one thing that I need to follow going forward is stop following rules that don't work for me. I mean, at the end of the day, who am I doing this for? Myself. It's not like I'm putting this in for an examination and having it marked by somebody. You know, I think that's one thing that academia does breed. It's like you constantly have to please someone, even though they're not imaginary or whatever. But yeah, so I need to stop being so precious and just plan. Just get out of your own head, woman. So, yep, that's my plan for 2021. I think I'll probably do a review video at the end of the year, if not before, and let you know how that's gone. So I have kind of stopped bullet journaling in terms of the beautiful spreads that I produce. But hey, if I start missing it so much, I'll do another bullet journal spread. Or if I get enough requests as well. I mean, if there's a lot more people that are like, hey, can we have some more bullet journal spreads, then I will do some more, because then it's not just for me. It is for other people, which would then give me another purpose to spur me on to do it. So, food for thoughts. So yeah, it's not the end of bullet journaling entirely, just sort of the artistic and the precious thing of it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've not rambled too much. I will try and edit my rambling down as much as possible. This is the beginning of 2021, so I hope this year is much kinder to everybody this year, as opposed to the 2020 that we shall not mention. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful year. I hope you enjoyed this planning video, or not planning video. I don't know what it is anymore. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. You found some use of it, and maybe it sort of helped you get out of your bullet journal funk that you may be feeling as well, or the pressure. Because obviously the beginning of the year is like, we must do another bullet journal, we must. But you must not. You can just buy a planner and just do what you want, or even just buy a plain book and do what I was doing with the lists. It doesn't have to be so artsy smartsy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you feel other people would like it as well, please share my videos with people that you think might like. And of course, please like and subscribe this video. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it does help me out a lot. And last year I managed to get over 1,000 subscribers, which is just crazy, you guys. I was only expecting to get like 50, maybe 100 people. But yeah, so that was quite a shock to the system. But thank you so much for your support already. But yeah, thank you. So in the meantime, happy architecting.